Today we're joined with Jason Petrie, senior designer at Nike Basketball, but really LeBron's longtime designer since the LeBron 7. Thanks for hopping on.
Hey, my pleasure, man. Good to see you.
Of course, always. What was the starting point of Nike's involvement with the movie once you guys knew the movie was confirmed to be happening?
Yeah, it's an interesting question because, it was always kind of talked about, not always, but it's been a long time. Once it kind of happened, I think we found out not too far ahead of when everybody else found out. And thanks to the folks at Warner Brothers and, just the whole team reaching out, understanding the magnitude of the responsibility, it was like, okay, we're going to have to connect with the studio. We're going to have to figure out how do we work with this relationship? How are we going to get it in a movie? What shoe's going to go in the movie? When's the movie going to come out? And once we started looking at that, literally we're working on the 17 at the time. And it's like, well, it's going to work out and probably be like maybe the 19, maybe the 18. Really, as soon as we had an initial thought on the 19, the timing had worked where we could show it to LeBron and take it to Warner Brothers within a month or two, and have this face-to-face. And that was all right before kind of everything shut down.
And from those first conversations with LeBron, what were the insights from him that drove the process?
Yeah, well, it was kind of twofold, the technical wise or problem solving wise on the shoe. He had talked to us as a huge group at Nike on a visit that he came out for his annual business meeting and talked about, loving Max Air and the benefits of air. And as the movie came along, we oh, snap, now we're going to have to this whole narrative is going to take over, and which rightly it should. Then we were able to have a conversation with LeBron a little bit. And yo, this part in the movie, or this, and he's like, yeah, okay, that will fit. And a lot of it was with the director, Malcolm, too. Okay, we'll have LeBron here, and we need something like this for this scene, and we'll have this going on over here. So, he's the movie and the team, Malcolm and the team at Warner Brothers that were charged with building this vision, ultimately had a ton of say, as much as LeBron normally would, just because of what was going on in the movie. So we went down there, met with them, and we literally had Brian Moody, our color designer, working with Malcolm and the team in their inner sanctum of where they build this movie at, this dark room, huge screen, God knows how many computers around. And he, Malcolm's talking to him, LeBron's walking down the screen in the uniform, and what would pop here? What would it, and he must have generated 100 CADs right there, just looking on the screen, just live conversation, which I don't know. I've never done that in my career. And it was incredibly just energizing creatively. And that's how we ended up with the orange and blue, the shoe that you've kind of seen.
What went into the 19 design in terms of incorporating the crown logo a little more prominently on the side there?
We had this thing about long live the king. It's something that even Ronnie had talked about back when we worked on the 15, with those guys. And his whole kind of thought process about beginning that project was LeBron's kind of underappreciated, he's going to be gone before we know it. And he just wanted to kind of celebrate that moment. And so we started looking at, from a technical standpoint, how we could keep him on court longer, to literally help the king live longer on court, basically the king that we know. And then, all right, well, let's just play up the details of the crown. I don't think we do that enough. And so now there's some that are overt and some that are more hidden. I think the one that most people see is the kind of more freehand one on the side, which is, if you look at how LeBron would draw on the side of his shoes before a lot of games, SFGs, kids' names, you'll see a little crown on there, is basically taken from that idea of his little kind of squiggles on the side of his shoe, and let's just put one on there permanently.
When you think of shoes from Nike that are in movies, you think of the Mags and Back to the Future back in the day. Did you guys toy around with giving the shoes any kind of powers or power lacing?
Power laces, all right.
Or any kind of special activities as well?
Let me tell you, man, it's the COVID pandemic's been horrible for a lot of very real reasons. One dumb reason is because it cost us an incredible effect and moment that we were going after something pretty crazy. My affinity for the mag. I mean, who doesn't have affinity with that? But that's basically, that's a big reason why I do what I do today. So yeah, of course there was, and you're a designer and a chance to be in a movie, have something in a movie, be a part of a product in a movie like this, you want to just go crazy. And we had big plans, big dreams, and we're well on our way.
My mind is racing of what that could have looked like. So
yeah, it was nuts, man. It was nuts.
What when you think back to the original Space Jam, just what are your personal memories of that and the impact that footwear had?
At that time, the footwear is today as regards to it being in the movie. I think, we were more excited about Michael being in the movie, but of course it became classic and so many classic lines and and having seen so many great products, and whether it's T-shirts or Michael's Secret stuff, water bottles around, like even the notion of an athlete combining in this kind of world, I think it just broke so many barriers to be able to carry a whole movie. But I think what I remember and love best about is Bill Murray being in it. And now watching it even older, it makes you laugh even more because you get the little nuances of his performance.
What do you think this platform, I mean, we go back all the time to that Space Jam 11, and I got one over my shoulder here, but what do you think the platform in the movie is going to do for the series, for this LeBron 19?
If nothing else, I think it just shows it in a light. You see a basketball shoe or footwear, or, even somebody, LeBron, who you see every day on a basketball court. It's just in a whole new place, and like taking something that's real and it's like you're working, and all of a sudden it becomes this something you're watching for entertainment. So when I saw the movie and you see this shoe, 20 feet huge in front of you, like it just is a surreal kind of thing. So what I hope it does is just energize, inspire folks, because they did such an amazing job with this thing. I think the shoe is just one small little fun element for, sneakerheads that may or may not notice it in there. The shoe's a super dope shoe, in my opinion, that even outside of Space Jam, I think LeBron's going to do some special things in. But just having this venue, the thing that you'll be able to watch this movie in 20 years, pull it out, that shoe will still be there in those moments, like the same way that shoe over your shoulder is. I think that's ultimately going to be the thing. I can't speak on that now, but maybe, as holler at me when I'm 70 and see, if it still makes me feel like that same feeling now, which is just like super proud. Just make sure to see the movie. The movie is definitely, it's a good time, man. It's a really good time. I hope people feel some of that fun in the shoe. That's what we tried to really push in there.